Hello students, welcome to the next video of English literature of the supplementary book Snapshots prescribed for class 11th for the students of CBSE board. I here Rajesh Kumar Singh from Divine Public School Monapur Gorakhpur. Students, let's proceed on paragraph 13 of lesson first of Snapshot, the summer of the beautiful white horse. Let's see reading paragraph 13. My uncle Khusro became very irritated and shouted, "It's no harm. What is the loss of a horse? Haven't we all lost the homeland? What is this crying over a horse? That may be all right for you, a city dweller, to say," John Barrow said. "But what of my Surrey? What good is a Surrey without a horse? Pay no attention to it," my uncle Khusro roared. "I walked 10 miles to get here," John Barrow said. "You have legs," my uncle Khusro shouted. "My left leg pains me," the farmer said. "Pay no attention to it," my uncle Khusro roared. "That horse cost me $60, the farmer said. "I spit on money," my uncle Khusro said. He got up and stalked out of the house, slamming the screen door. My mother explained. He has a gentle heart," she said. "It is simply that he is homesick and such a large man." The farmer went away and I ran over to my cousin Murad's house. Students, see, though the words I think acquainted with you, yet irritated. Get the meaning clear? Word irritated. Irritated means annoyed. The person who gets easily annoyed by the words of other, or a person who is of loose tempered, easily lost temper on very small things. You can say a man is irritated person. The meaning annoyed. Homeland, that is native land. Cry over means lamenting over the loss of something. What is used of crying over means what is making lament over the loss of something. Surrey. Surrey means a kind of cart drawn by horses. Here in India you can say horse cart. Surrey is horse cart. There are different kinds of carts as chariot in our country. Chariot. It was also driven by cart. But Surrey is completely different from such type of carts. It is a cart drawn by a single horse. Horse cart. Slamming, the sound of door when it is opened or closed. Now see the explanation of this paragraph. When John Barrow, the farmer, expressed his sad feelings caused by the loss of his horse, Uncle Khusro, one of the craziest persons of the tribe, became very irritated and shouted, "It's no harm. What is loss of horse?" He further reasoned whether they had not lost their homeland. It is extremely foolishness to lament over the loss of an ordinary horse. This loss of a horse was nothing before the loss of homeland. Being distressed at odd logic produced by Khusro, John Barrow, the farmer, reasoned that may be nothing, that is, the loss of his horse for a rich city dweller may nothing, but it was a big loss for a farmer like him. Barrow reasoned that what was the utility of a horse cart without the horse. Khusro spoke loudly, advising him not to pay attention on it. Janbaro argued that he had to walk for 10 miles to get there. Khusro shouted at him, saying that he had legs. The legs were enough to carry him. The legs were enough to carry him the place where he wanted to go. The farmer told him that his left leg pains him. Khusro again rode stupidly and advised him not to pay attention to it. The farmer John Barrow told him that the horse cost him $60, a big amount for him. Khusro produced his crazy logic that he spit on money. Saying this, he got up and moved out of the house with heavy pace, slamming the screen door of guest room. The narrator's mother expressed her explanation for his crazy behavior. The narrator mother expressed her explanation for the crazy behavior of Khusro and told him that he has a gentle heart. Whatever he said was due to his homesickness. Otherwise, he is so large man, so big man. A man with big heart. Then the farmer went away and the narrator ran towards the Murad's home to inform about the events which took place in that afternoon in his house. Students, now let's proceed on next paragraph 14 of this lesson. He was sitting under a peach tree trying to repair the hurt wing of a young robin which could not fly. He was talking to the bird. What is it? He said. The farmer, John Barrow, I said. He visited our house. He wants his horse. You have had it a month. I want you to promise not to take it back until I learn to ride. It will take you a year to learn to ride, my cousin Murad said. We could keep the horse a year, I said. My cousin Murad leaped to his feet. What? He roared. Are you inviting a member of the Garoglanian family to steal? The horse must go back to its true owner. When? I said. In 6 months at the latest, he said. He threw the bird into the air. The bird tried hard, almost fell twice, but at last flew away high and straight. Early every morning for 2 weeks, my cousin Murad and I took the horse out of the barn of the deserted vineyard where we were hiding it and rode it. And every morning the horse, when it was my turn to ride alone, leaped over grapes, vines, and small trees and threw me and ran away. Nevertheless, I hoped in time to learn to ride and way my cousin Murad rode. Now, see some words related to this paragraph. Hurt. Hurt means injured. Leaped. Leaped means jumped. Latest. Up to the last. Up to the last. Nevertheless, in spite of. Means tis par bhi. In Hindi we say tis par bhi. I told him again and again, I forbade him again and again not to jump from such height. Nevertheless, the boy didn't hear my words and fell down. So this is the use of nevertheless. Now, let's see explanation of this paragraph. When the farmer John Barrow had gone, Aram, the narrator, ran to Murad's house to inform him about the conversation that took place between Khusro and the farmer. Aram wanted to alert his cousin about the farmer and his horse. When the narrator reached Murad, he was sitting under a peach tree, making effort to repair the injured wing of a robin bird, which was unable to fly. Murad was interacting the bird through loving talk. Murad was interacting, talking the bird through loving conversation. Murad asked him what that was, why he had come. Aram informed him that the farmer, the owner of the horse, had visited his house on that very afternoon, worried about his stolen horse. He informed him that the farmer wants his horse. He told that the horse had been lost for a month. Aram, the narrator, told or advised him not to take back the horse until he learned to ride. Murad commented that it will take a year to learn how to ride a horse like a person you. Aram said that they could keep the horse in their possession for a year till he learns. Hearing this, Murad stood up abruptly on his feet and exclaimed with surprise, "What?" He exclaimed loudly, showing his disgust for his falsehood. He asked him whether he was inviting the member of the Garoglanian family for stealing. He expressed his disgusting emotion for stealing and said that the horse must go to its real owner. Aram, the narrator, asked when he is going to return it. Murad gave his humorous, crazy answer that latest in 6 months. He threw the bird into the air after repairing its injured wings. The bird hard, almost fell. The bird effort hard, almost fell twice. It was successful in its efforts and flew away high and straight into the sky. Murad and Aram, the narrator took Murad and Aram, that is narrator, took the horse out of its hiding place for 2 weeks early in the morning, enjoyed the riding, and came back to its place before the wake of the world or the surrounding. But every day, when Aram, the narrator, tried to ride the horse alone, it made him to fall down by leaping over the grapevines and small trees. The horse threw him and ran away. In spite of so many falls from the horseback, he still hoped to learn to ride in the same way as his cousin Murad rode. Students, let's proceed on paragraph 15. One morning on the way to Pitwazian's deserted vineyard, we ran into the farmer John Barrow, who was on his way to town. Let me do the talking, my cousin Murad said. I have a way with farmers. Good morning, John Barrow, my cousin Murad said to the farmer. The farmer studied the horse eagerly. Good morning, son of my friends, he said. What is the name of your horse? My heart, my cousin Murad said in Armenian. A lovely name, John Barrow said. John Barrow said, a lovely name for a lovely horse. I could swear it is the horse that was stolen from me many weeks ago. May I look into his mouth? Of course, Murad said. The farmer looked into the mouth of the horse. Tooth for tooth, he said. I would swear it is my horse if I didn't know your parents. The fame of your family for honesty is well known to me. Yet the horse is the twin of my horse. A suspicious man would believe his eyes instead of his heart. Good day, my young friends. Good day, John Barrow, my cousin Murad said. Students, let's proceed. Let's see some words related to this paragraph. Deserted, that is abandoned or left out. Away with means know the psychology of the farmer. Away with the farmer means he knew the psychology of the farmer. Studied. Studied means doing study at the school, literal meaning, but its literary meaning is here made careful observation and have conclusion. Okay, or before making any conclusions, made a careful observation, that is studied eagerly with great curiosity. Swear means by oath, promised by solemn name of God. Suspicious man, a doubtful person. A suspicious man means a doubtful person. Now let's see explanation of this paragraph. One day the two boys were going to put the horse in the deserted vineyard of Fitzwilliam. After the ride in the morning, they came across John Barrow, the farmer, who was going to town, or in other words, who was on his way to town. The farmer saw the horse, studied it very carefully before they talked. Murad proposed with Aram, the narrator, to let him talk with the farmer, as he has the understanding with them. He wished John Barrow good morning. Before the starting of conversation, he wished John Barrow good morning. The farmer threw his observing eyes on horse, did careful study with curiosity, and wished good morning the son of his friends. He wished the boys good morning, addressing them the son of his friends. He further asked with the boys what the name was of their horse. Murad replied him, "The name of my horse is my heart." Murad replied, "My heart," in Armenian tongue. John Barrow commented that it was a lovely name for a lovely horse, and said, by the name of God, that he would certainly say that it was his horse, which was stolen from him many weeks ago. He asked if he might see into his mouth. "Certainly, why not?" Murad replied him with generosity. The farmer looked into the horse's mouth and did some exact calculation with deep observation. He observed the horse tooth for tooth. Then he said that he would swear that it was his horse if he hadn't known their parents. Barrow told them that their family is well known to him for their honesty. So he concluded, in spite of every evidence in horse, he concluded that it was a twin of his horse. His heart told him it was his horse every way, but a suspicious mind does not believe his heart. He believes on his eyes only. The logic only, his eyes only. So he wished the boys good day, addressing them his young friends. Murad, the cousin of the narrator, also wished good day to John Barrow. Students, now proceed on paragraph 16, the last paragraph of this lesson. Early the following morning, we took the horse to John Barrow's vineyard and put it in the barn. The dogs followed us around without making a sound. The dogs, I whispered to my cousin Murad, I thought they would bark. They would at somebody else, he said. I have a way with dogs. My cousin Murad put his arms around the horse, pressed his nose into the horse's nose, patted it, and then we went away. That afternoon, John Barrow came to our house in his surrey and showed my mother the horse that had been stolen and returned. I do not know what to think, he said. The horse is stronger than ever, better tempered, too. I thank God. My uncle Khusro, who was in the parlor, became irritated and shouted, Quiet, man, quiet. Your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it. Now, see some words here. Some words, as you know, vineyard, that is grapes of gardens, or you can say garden of grapes. I am sorry, vineyard means garden of grapes. Whispered, spoke in very low tone. Whisper means to talk in very low voice, low tone, only audible to the person who is listening very, very carefully. That is called whispering. And patted. Patted means short and slow beating on the back out of love and affection. This is called patting. Better tempered means of better understanding, better mood and habit. Let's see explanation of this paragraph. After the event of meeting John Barrow, the next day, very early in the morning, the boy took the horse to John Barrow's wine garden and put the horse in the barn. Since it was very early and the surrounding was curtained with deep darkness or covered with deep darkness, the dogs followed the boys around, but strange enough that they were not making a noise or they were not barking. Seeing the dogs around, the narrator whispered to his cousin Murad, The dogs, the dogs. Aram thought that the dogs would bark, thinking them strangers. Aram thought that the dogs would bark at them, considering them or thinking them as strangers. Murad ensured the narrator that they would bark at, but somebody else, not them. He ensured him that he understands the dogs. He knows them by their ways. The narrator's cousin Murad put his arms around the horse out of affection, pressed his nose into the horse's nose, patted its back, and then he went away along with Aram, the narrator. On that day, in the afternoon, John Barrow, the farmer, came to the narrator's house in his surrey and showed his mother that the horse which was stolen a month ago now has been returned, now has come back, safe and sound. The horse has returned home and it is safe and sound. John Barrow told the mother that he didn't know what he should think about the thieves. If the horse was stolen, then how it should come back? If not, where it had been? The farmer was amazed to see his horse stronger and of better temperament than before. In this case, one cannot say the horse was stolen. Barrow, the owner of the horse, thanked God for the safe and sound return of his horse. His uncle, Khusro, who was sitting in the guest room, became annoyed and irritated at it and shouted, "Quiet, man, quiet! Your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it." Students, let's see some evaluation questions. What was Murad doing when Aram ran to him to inform the farmer's visit in the afternoon? Question number second. Why did Murad leap to his feet? Third, what did the horse do when the narrator tried to ride the horse alone? Question number 4. Why did the narrator eat a hearty breakfast? Fifth, who was the another visitor? What was his worry about? Next question. Who was Uncle Khusro? What advice did he give to John Barrow? Question 7. What explanation did mother give about Khusro stupid dog? What explanation was given by the narrator's mother about Khusro's stupid talk? What happened one morning on the way to Petrusian's deserted vineyard? Question number 8. What did Barrow find after tooth by tooth observation of the horse? And the last question, question number 10. What change John Barrow noticed in horse after it had come back? The chapter is over. Students, remaining exercise you will do yourself, and we will meet again in next chapter, lesson second, the address. Okay? Thanks.